Welcome everyone. So thank you for all joining this webinar. My name is Ajay Sharma and today I'm the host for you. As all you know that GACS has has this initiative on health and wellness on a daily basis, and we come up with different topics looking into the pandemic situation and our people mental wellness and health. So in continuation to the same, today also we are here with a topic, the secret of your well-being. And for this we have Dr. Biswajit Mahapatra, who is going to talk about what all secrets that we all should know regarding our health, regarding our lifestyle. Dr. Mahapatra is experienced 31 years of experience in medical field. He is associated with the JP Hospital, Rourkela, Odisha. He's I talk about Dr. Mahapatra. He's a certified NLP trainer. He's a author writer of the book Care for Your Health, that gives a manual on your living healthy life. He is India's first health motivator and an infopreneur. He is associated with many institutions where they get the lifestyle coaching. So all these mix of experience and knowledge that Dr. Biswajit Mahapatra have regarding the about health, how we have to keep healthy, how we can keep our mental health with all the resources that we have available with us. So regarding not taking so much time, I'll invite Dr. Biswajit Mahapatra to start with. Over to you, Dr. Biswajit.
Okay. Can you? I'm not able to share my screen properly.
I'll give you the rest.
Okay. Okay. Good evening, everyone. It's nice to be in front of you. There's so many people, and this is the platform which is giving us, and we are able to reach to. I'm able to reach to all of you. There's no doubt about it that we are passing through one of the most unprecedented time of our life. I don't think we'll be ever see it again in our lifetime. But whatever it may be whatever situation you all are passing through, we all are passing through the same stage. Before, just a minute, my phone is on. Just a minute, sorry for the disturbance. I just forgot to do that. So whatever it may be, we all are passing through the test. Before I go into the subject, let me introduce myself a little bit, why I am here, because I'm a laparoscopic surgeon. I'm in practice since last 30 years, now. But you must be thinking that what a surgeon is doing out here in a seminar like this, where people are supposed to, we have to discuss about health. This I will tell you, because I'm also like one of you, like we all are passing through a stage. We have all passed through the stage, you can say. We have to look into our career, we look into our job, we have to prosper in our own pathway, and we are living a very fast life. I used to also do that for 12, 13, 14 years. Up to 2010, I was doing operation for around 10 to 12 operation a day, 16 to 18 hours a day. And one fine morning, I got a warning. I got some problem. And when I got that problem, for 10 days, I was thinking what I did to myself by doing all sorts of things, going into the career graph, rising into that, serving people and doing a lot of good work, be sincere to your work. I was thinking I did everything good for others. Now, what I did for myself, when the question came, what I did for myself, that was the first time I realized, yeah, I have neglected myself for a whole of the last 15 years. And it was 2010, and I started, I thought, let me now look about myself. Let me do something about myself. Let me look about my health. And the surprising part is that, when I started looking at my health and I wanted to do something, and I was thinking next day, I thought, let me start doing something about my health. And I was thinking what to do, where to start, when to start, and how much to do. I was totally ignorant about those things. Let's look at this. I'm a surgeon having 10 years of experience in my studies, 13 years of practice, and one of those most senior most surgeon of the city. I used to give a lot of advices to a lot of people. But when it came to health, I was really surprised to know that I didn't have much knowledge about my own health. And that was the day I thought, if I do not have much knowledge about health, how come the normal man, how can a common man, how much knowledge he must be having? And that made me to think, no, let me learn about this thing. Let me learn about health. Let me keep myself healthy first. Then let me see what I will do. And I started learning about health. And it was actually a journey. You can say it was a very difficult journey. I have to revisit everything. I have to go to my physiology. I have to go to my biochemistry. I have to go to my first year of studies, which I used to do. Then I started I then understood that health is different. That day I realized that I am not a part of healthcare system. That day I realized I'm a part of a disease care system. And when people used to call me, you are a healthcare professional, you are so good at that. And that day I realized I'm not a healthcare professional, I'm a disease care professional. I'm a very good person, I'm an expert in treating diseases, but I'm not a person who is good about health. And these 3 years of money, like from 2010 and to 13, I started learning and applying it into my life. Everything I learned, that's what I'm going to tell you. What are the processes we should go today? I will tell you, but I'm not going to tell you anything about your health, because these are all big things. Somebody has to be, you have to be dedicating yourself for learning health. So we will do that. But today I will tell you the basics, what I did that time. I think 11 years back, I did some work on myself, and I made some routines and some research I did. That way I will tell you today. And when 2013, after 3 years of my doing this, when I did an analysis in 2013, it was really surprising. By this time, I was operating only 2 cases a day. I was, by that time, in 3 years, when I analyzed myself, I found I was more sociable. My income has increased by 3 times, and I was more famous and had a lot of time to go and socializing. I was the president of our Indian Medical Association. I was the president of a Rotary Club of that Rotary city. So when I thought, if I worked on my health, and I made some routine, I made some change in my life, and everything became good to me. Everything. I didn't lose anything. When I saw the paper where I was about to write what I achieved and what I lost, there was nothing I lost. I only achieved. Everything was plus, 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 plus. I thought, okay, this is a very surprising thing. Let me share with my people. And when I started sharing, people there was no one to take. People are so busy with their own work, they don't want to learn. That time, I did a slogan, and that was, learn about your health to enjoy your wealth. अपने स्वास्थ्य अपने हाथ, यही है सच्चे विकास की बात. Let us discuss health, no disease, please. So in my seminars, in last, I think it is my 7th or 8th year of my reaching to people, I never discuss about any diseases in my whole of the seminar. I only discuss how you should keep yourself healthy. Health is a different issue. Disease is a different issue. The people who want to learn about disease, let them go to doctors and learn it. But if you want to help, because diseases are so many. If you cross a border, if you cross 100 miles, you will find a new disease. Every year you must be hearing about a new disease coming to us. Corona was not there. It has come to us in the last 1.5 years. We all are in trouble. See, if you want to fight diseases, it is very difficult, because we can't fight with thousands of enemies. But health is one. Remember, throughout ages, since if you think 2000 years back also, health was to be defined in a different way, the same way as we defined health today. Health is one. Why can't we work on this one thing, which is easier for us and which is under our control? Diseases is not under your control. Whenever you have a disease, you have to take help, because you have to submit yourself to somebody else. But when you are looking for health, it is under your control. And I can tell you that health is always a thing which can work on. You will not believe, since I think it's 30 years of my practice now, whenever I used to see a patient in pain and agony, and because normally we meet only when you are in some problem, and I go there to rescue from that particular place, particular suffering. And whenever I see a patient, I used to always think whether this person could have avoided this particular problem if somebody would have taught this person, trained this person about health. And every time my answer is to come from my heart, yes, this particular thing could have been avoided. And you will be surprised to know that the statistics says 70 to 80% of diseases can be prevented if a person is quite well aware of the things, what's going on inside the body. So it is the thing, there comes that you have to learn health. Learning health is very important, which nobody wants to do. You know why? Because we think we are born with healthy. And really, we are born, 95% of the child or we people are born with all the codings in our body, in a genetic level, with a healthy codings. But what happens when we move on our life journey? We catch hold of diseases, we bring diseases, and we are the responsible person for our own diseases. If you see today's scenario, the people are dying in corona and all these things. In my hospital, we have 400, 500 patients. And I had a analysis because I analyzed the patient who have died, I found that those are the people who died are the people who have never come out from their home in last 3 months. 90% people, they have never come out from their home in last 3 months. And why they died is because they are very much prone to diseases. They are not healthy. The moment and I have not very few people who are daily laborers and all these people are not dying. It's a very surprising thing. I have statistics because we see every day around 20, 30 deaths are there in our hospital. And because of my interest in that, I used to do a lot of research on that. And I'm telling you, it is the people who are within the four walls, they are dying more than the people who are the workers and who are laborers and all these people. They are not, because if you see, then their health is not why they are not dying. It's because we have somehow not prepared ourselves. We are not preparing ourselves for a proper health. We do not know about this thing. And the first thing we have to do is that we have to understand that we have to learn. Learning is the first step towards health. And today I will tell you my topic, which I have chosen, is ask. ASK. I will tell you how come ask is so important in our life. And when I talk about ask, I always say that everywhere, if you are professionals, all the professionals, and whenever we ask something, we always get the answer back. Whenever we ask that we want good health, and the problem is that people are very much reluctant to ask help. Most of the patients who are coming to our hospital or going to the hospitals are going in a very late stage. They are not asking for help. They are not going to doctors in the right time. When the lung is totally affected, they are going to the people now. If you see everywhere, all over the country, we have been discussing in our doctors community, and we have been looking at that. In the initial stage, very people are going to doctors and taking medicine. That's again the thing comes, ask. People are not asking. They are just looking for some remedies from nearby and from asking over phone, and they are managing the things till the disease becomes so big that people are dying. People are not coming to in the cancer stage, in the initial stage. People are not coming to us in heart disease in the early stage, because people are not aware of that. And today I will tell you, okay, what are the skills, what are the things you will going to learn to things. So my topic today is very unconventional. It's not a conventional topic. I told you, whenever I talk about this thing, I talk a very small thing by which you have to work on yourself. I'll give you task. I'll give you the insight into today, because we have code courses, no doubt about it. I can teach you, because it takes hours. Because once you think of learning, you have to dedicate your time. You have to dedicate yourself for learning. And second thing, learning is not enough. You have to apply those things in your body, and you have to be healthy. Once you are healthy, nothing is going. No diseases can enter your body. I can tell you, nothing. You can remain healthy forever till you die. You can live longer and younger. These all are things. This whole thing is coded in our body. I always teach about this epigenetic lifestyle modification, and it is there. I tell you how your genes can modify. You have got the genes which can we can keep you healthy forever. How can you control them? How can you can say, how can you what do you say? You can direct them, or you can tell them to give good genes. Well, bad gene can be converted to good genes, and good gene can be getting converted into bad genes because of our lifestyle, the way we are ignorant about health. So I'm sharing my slide today, and we'll start one by one. Then what is this? So sorry, you are not able to see now. Okay, let me share my slide. So any obstacles are coming in between?
No, fine. We are able to see.
You can see?
Yeah.
Okay. So today I will talk about this ask. So you must be thinking, what is ask? This is the secret of well-being. We talk about, like, in this pandemic, every person must have gone through many of the health seminars. you people have a lot of information with you. So if I go on telling any another information, it is going to give you a burden for you, because I know that most of the information which you have gained in last 1.5 years about health, none, I think 10% people might have been there who must be following those things, and they must be doing the things which is necessary for their own health. 90% people, they don't apply them in their body. They just learn for the sake of learning. And I have a statistics for that. The statistics says 95% of the people, they do not know, they're not bothered about their health, and they do not know that they have to work for that. They just start their 9 to 5 job, they do that thing, they come home, and they just routinely they do the things, and the disease comes to them, they again go to the doctors, they get cured, and they go back. So they do a routine. 95. 3% of the people, they are interested to do something for their health, but they don't do that. Somehow they don't know where to start, how to start, when to start. The 3% people are there. 1% of people are there. They know that they have to work on that, on their health. They know that they also acquire the knowledge from different sources, and they have all the things, they're ready for that. But unfortunately, they don't do anything. They are they learn everything, but they don't do anything. Only 1% of the people in this whole of the world, you can say, they are health conscious. They learn and they apply them those things on their own self, and they remain healthy till they die. I want that all of the people who are listening to this or who are watching this video, they should try to be in this 1%. And what are the resources? Today, I'll give you the resources of those things. So let us go to the first slide. Okay, let's go to the first slide first today. And that is called, I call this A stands for attitude. So I will ask you a question first. Who is the king of the jungle? Now, I know that people will tell that lion is the king of the jungle. Okay. Now, the question come here. Lion is not the tallest. Tallest is the giraffe, is the tallest. And lion is not the biggest. Elephant is the biggest animal in the jungle. Lion is not the cleverest. It is the jackal is the cleverest animal in the jungle. And lion is not the heaviest. Remember this thing. That's why I'm telling you this. Because this lion is none of these 4 things. But still he is considered to be the king of the jungle. What makes him the king of the jungle? What makes the lion the king of the jungle? It is only one thing. I call that one as attitude. Attitude is not, it is the only, because the moment lion look at the elephant, his attitude is that lion, this elephant is my prey, I'll go and kill him and I can eat him. That is what is the first thing he thinks in his mind. And at the same time, the elephant thinks that lion is going to come and kill me. I'm his prey. And that makes the difference. Though the elephant is so powerful and that, but the lion becomes the king and he can kill all of those animals, and he can remain in he can keep his position. Why? Because like this, health is an attitude. Like whatever I have seen my 30 years of experience, all the people who come with a disease, they are not health conscious, and they take health very lightly. They don't consider health to be taken care of every day. Fine. So one thing, just remember one thing, nothing happens by itself. It all will come your way once you understand that you have to make it come your way by your own exertion. Health will come to you only when you will work for that, and you will be healthy forever. And it will be by your own effort only. This is the first thing I'll tell you. And a positive attitude is a person's passport to a better health. So first of all, if we are thinking about our health, if we want to remain healthy for our health, so we have to think good health, we have to speak up good health, and we have to act to get a good health. This is all things, this behavioral. I'll tell you how we can go proceed on this process. And see, in this Corona period, what's happening? You look into the thing. Every time you open a TV, open a newspaper, and everything you do that. I have recently released a video also for that. And People are disease conscious. The moment they look into the things, they hear that there's so many people are dying and so many things are happening, they have got a fear. They get the wrong thing out of this. Fine. And once your body, you have developed a fear, or you have negativity comes to your mind, your body goes into a protective mode. Your body either go to a growth mode or a protective mode. But once we look into the surroundings, look into what's happening around, and our body goes into a protective mode. And during that protective mode, what happens? We have different chemical. We have different. Our body goes into a unresourceful state. And what happens there? Our body immunity status goes down, because the immune cells are produced mostly in our intestines, and the circulation from the intestine goes to the periphery, because our body prepare ourselves for a fight and flight reaction. Because this moment the stress hormones start releasing, and all this chemical game they start happening in our body, and we go into a state where our immunity will automatically go down. So think of this. I always say, whenever such type of things are happening, you just cut off yourself from news channels, cut off from the newspapers. Don't listen. You prepare yourself to be in a proper healthy condition. Once you are healthy, nothing will come touch you. No bacteria, no virus can enter your body, because we have our own protectors which are working inside our body and who will save us. So attitude is our mental filter through which we experience the world, and you do not have control over things happening outside, but certainly you have control over your body. Remember this thing. Your body is the window through which you must look for health. Keep your window clean. Because if something is splashed on your window, you cannot look through that. So you have to keep your window clean. You have to keep your attitude, keep your mind free from this. You have to look for health. You don't have to consider that a disease is there. Okay, it's there. But if you are preparing for health, you don't have to worry for them. You don't have to worry for them. I know that, because as a doctor, I can tell you, 99% of people, they come to us. And whenever I have seen crorepati's, and I have seen people with billions of dollars in their hand, but they can't drink a drop of water. It's because they've never given importance to health. They've never cleaned their window, and they are somewhere. I will say that just a minute, is coming into the way. Okay, now. So we become what we think about. We are magnet. If some of you must be knowing about that law of attraction. It really does work. It is not the law of attraction works. It is the vibration. Because ultimately we all are vibratory beings. If we see in my 21 days classes and in my blueprint classes, I teach them how the new biology is talking about. New biology is talking about that we are made up of atoms, and the atoms are vibration, nothing more than that. So we all differ with the different vibration. We attract the things which are like, just like magnet, we attract. If we think of diseases, we attract diseases. And what the mind can conceive and believe, our body can achieve. And so we have to take action accordingly. The way we have to take action, the way we have to think. So first thing, we have to become healthy, we have to take action. We have to think of that we want to be healthy. So let us attract health. Let us work for health. That is what my whole aim is. Why we are so much disease conscious? Let us be health conscious. It will be easy. So it needs a commitment towards health. Once you think of that, you should be committed that if I have learned this thing, something from somebody, and if I know that this is going to help me, so why not to do that? Why not commit for that? That's what is the thing. And this commitment part is lacking in 99% people. They buy a suit, they go for it, they go to the market and they buy a suit for this, the running suit and all these things. But after 5 days, all the things are lying without any use, because they are not committed towards that. As we are committed to our own profession, professionally we are so committed that we rise very fast in our professional graph. But and gradually if you think about health, we deteriorate. Most of the diseases, people, I see that type 2 diabetes and all these chronic diseases that starts after 40. Why? Because in 30 to 40, people abuse their bodies so much, then they land up in all this type of thing. They express their bad genes. So genetic expression like that, they express their diabetic gene. So they become diabetes. Suppose we take care of our health, then I think it's going, we may or may not, we should not, we can, and we will not, you can say, manifest a diabetic gene, though we have got a diabetic gene. So it depends on the way we express the gene, the way we take care of our body. Attitude leads up towards a great health. We can turn our illness as an opportunity to start again and bring back health. Okay, diseases has come to you. Many people have got some problem. When I go for my 21 days classes, there every time there 20, 30 people are there in my 21 days journey with me. And I see that a lot of people have got a lot of problems. So I always say, whatever your problem is now with you, you take it as a challenge. You try to bring it back, because you can give the command to your cells. That is the charm of epigenetics. Previously, we used to think, that if I have a gene of a diabetes or I have a cancer gene, and then I'm going to manifest cancer. But now the things have changed. The new biology is talking something different. It is telling that if I can change, I can give command to my gene, I can rewrite over that codings. I can change my coding. If I can turn my illness. If I learn from my illness that why it has happened to me, and I work on that, there is a term called reversal of diseases. The reversal of diseases is not a myth. It is a possibility. It is a fact that is happening. Many people have done it. You must have heard about people coming out from cancer. I have a lot of stories to tell. But this is only 35 minutes, so I cannot go very deeply in that. But it is possibilities are there. There are thousands and thousands of people have regained their health they have come back from the illness. When you take it as an opportunity to start again, you have to take a pause there. You think, like I did a pause in 2010. Why it happened to me? I found that my stress was the cause of this. I took a pause. I started thinking for 15 days. I just started thinking and working on myself. What went wrong? Where I did wrong? And I found the answer, because I told you now, whenever you ask a question, there's always the answer will be there. And problem is that we do not know how to ask empowering questions. Empowering question mean, like, people ask why I have cancer. This is a disempowering question. But they don't think, if the cancer has come to me, now what to do? What can I do from here? From here, where can I take my journey? Can I work on this? See, now that is called empowering questions. Now you have to understand, we will face problem. But the moment we face problem, if our questions are like we ask empowering questions, we will get answer, and answer is always there, and it is inside only. Just you have to listen to us, and we are poor listeners. Because of this first world, we are moving very fast in this world. We are going towards something, and we don't have time to listen to our body, because we don't recognize most of the warning signs which our body gives. Our body gives warning signs in every step. Every time it gets our body sense that we are not doing justice, it sends a signal to us, and we always ignore that signal. And one time comes when we fall into the trap of diseases, and we start again, we go down, because there again we don't ask any question to ourselves. So what do you do? So you should associate it with healthy and positive people. See, whenever I see my patient, I find a complicated or difficult patient, I see a lot of people coming to them and talking about them, like they will try to show their sympathy towards them. And I don't want those people around them. I always tell these people to go away. You don't need sympathy. You don't need sympathy. You need empathy there. And you need people who will tell you, who will guide you, who will tell you what to do, what not to do, how to progress from here. That will come only when you will be associating yourself with people with a positive mindset. Because 99% people, they will tell, what happened to you? You having cancer. Oh, you have been diagnosed diabetes, so bad out of it. See, these things comes. And it is not they are not the right people to be there with you. Illness is an opportunity to more intelligently and actively begin again. Here we can start again. Anybody, anywhere, like I did the things. I started again, I think in 2010. And today, it's 21, and I think everything is good for me. My graph has gone up, because There I paused, I started thinking, and I asked the thing what to do. I asked myself, what should I do? So there you can, now everybody should ask, wherever you are today, you ask today, ki wherever I am today, who is responsible for this? And if I am responsible for this, what should I do now henceforward? Am I going to, should I learn now? Because without learning, you cannot move. And learning avenues are very few. In our country, at least, you will find people and who will tell you, do this, because everybody's got only one, as they look into one aspect of it. It is not one of it. If I can take only good nutrition, I'm not going to change everything. If I do only exercise, no. If I do only meditation and dhyan, no. You have to come. You have to, because I know, because in my when I teach my people about this lifestyle modification, I give them a totally a holistic approach. How totally in all the four pillars of healthy. I will come to that later on. 4 pillars we have to work on. Fine. Now, as you know, our thought leads to our words, and words lead to our belief, actions, and results. This is what I call attitude. That leads to our attitude. And see, this is a total circle, you can say. Attitude, behavior, action, results, and performance again. So if our attitude is good, our behavior will be good. And from there, we take good actions, and results will be good. Again, our performance will be good. And this attitude will go on. But if our attitude will be wrong, negative attitude, then again we have a negative behavior. So this cycle will continue always. So here we have to work on this A. What type of attitude I should have from now onwards, that I will lead a healthy life. First of all, you have to promise yourself that I am going to lead a healthy life forever. And for that, whatever needed, I will do. Whatever thing I have to learn, okay, I'll learn. I'll have to dedicate time, okay, I'll dedicate time. I have to invest money, yes, I will invest money. Now the problem is that when I I ask people, about investment. I ask people, did you invest anything on your health? People tell me, sir, yes, I have invested 50,000 rupees per year for my health insurance. I will tell, dear, you have not invested for your health there. You have invested for your disease there. Now think, you have to invest on your health. Means what investment you need? You have to go and learn, buy books, go to seminars, attend people who are teaching health. Go and learn them, because okay, there are very few people are there all the country. I know there is a scarcity for that, but you have to find out, because that's what I will tell you today when we'll go for the skills. So this is what I will tell you about the attitude. Fine. So why attitude is important? It is because the greatest, William James, I think it is in 1800, he's one of the famous psychologists. Everybody must have heard about him. He told, the greatest discovery of my generation is that human being can alter their lives by altering their attitude of mind. I always tell they can alter their health by changing their attitude of mind. That is always true. It is applicable in all the field. Fine. So never allow the shadow of other sickness fall upon you. Help, but don't immerse. I always say, as a doctor, I can tell you my experience. I have like more than 50, 60 examples with me. I have written in my book also that I have seen patients who come to me with, I think my friend has got a cancer, sir. I feel I have got a cancer here. And I see that there is nothing. And they come to me for months together. I do all the tests, nothing comes out. And one fine morning, they have a cancer. Because they have allowed the other sickness, other things shadow on them, and they go on thinking and that thing. And ultimately they manifest. You must have seen that in families, there are 2-3 people, they got cancer, because one is have one cancer person, they have cancer, then the other person think like all the symptoms, they start matching into that. Okay. And Google is doing a wonderful job in that. He is making people more and more sick. For a small thing, it is giving you a bad diagnosis. And with that, people are thinking, I have got this. This is what I always say. And I always say, don't allow others to do. Or people are suffering because he's suffering for his own fault or whatever you can say. Now you don't don't immerse yourself in that. What you will do, you keep yourself. Now you think, no, I have to work on myself. I will not fall ill like them. It's not that the disease will come to me and I'll start looking at the signs and symptoms and I'll start being, okay, I'm bleeding from this, I've got cancer in my... See, it is something like that. People are thinking. And it is a horrible thing. We cannot control that. Maybe this type of program, if I go on doing it, then people can change and stop complaining. If you have a problem, okay, no problem. Everybody has got a problem. But we have to find a solution, and solution is within. Fine. think differently, change your attitude to change your health. This is the first thing I talk about A. Now, the second thing I'll show you the photograph of this. This is a wonderful photograph. This I have taken it from this scientist who has worked mostly on the genetic studies and all these things. See, these are the ladies. Now, you can see these ladies. Okay, now why I'm showing these photographs, you will know from this next photographs. See, look at the age of these ladies. She's 55, 75, 64, 64, 55. And what made these people, and these are the bar dancer of one of the costliest, one of the biggest bar of you can say in Paris. They are the bar dancers. At the age of 75, what makes these people come and stay in the stage? See, look into the attitude. This is the attitude that makes these people believe age has not touched them. In chronologically, they may be 75, but biological age, they have said their biological age may be 35, 40. Can you just see that how they look? They don't look like 75, 64, 64. It is because it is just the attitude. They have not accepted their age to be 74 or 75. They think they are 45, and their behavior, everything is changing with that. You look at the elegance, the way they are posing for the photographs. Fine. So it is our attitude which will tell us about our own health. Fine. And the second thing comes now, I'll tell you about that, is S. Ask. Okay. S is the thing which I always say, that we have to know about some skills that I call health skills. Like any other skill, any skill means anything which we do regularly, we become skillful, we become more skilled on that particular thing. In our job also, we are very skilled workers. I'm a very skilled surgeon because I do the things regularly, and I become master of that particular thing. Like in health also, you have to learn certain skills. I always say the skills required to maintain, protect, and improve all aspects of people's health. Now, because nobody must have told you about their health skills. Today, I will tell you what are the health skills. Just I'll touch and go, because it's a very big chapter. It takes me 1 hour to teach my people. Okay, I will now go by one. So first one is that I always say, this is called analyzing influences. I'll come to one by one. I'll just tell the 7 skills. Accessing resources. These are all skills we have to develop. Interpersonal communication. This all has got effect on our health. Decision making, goal setting, practicing health enhancing behaviors, and advocacy. Let us go by one so that I'll touch those things today only. What is analyzing influences? Understanding the factors controlling you. What are the factors controlling you? Today, if you look around you, because we all are being bombarded with information. Today, every moment, every seconds, millions and millions bytes of information are being bombarded to us. And our brain has got a capability of only receiving 16 to 18 bytes per second. But we are getting in millions bytes, the information coming to us. We are overloaded. Fine. So what we do? So the problem comes here that with so much of information coming to us, and we forget that there is a very thin line between information and misinformation. We do not know when we cross that information part, we cross that thin line, and we are in the misinformation part, and we are staying there since long. And we get all the bad effect of the misinformations. Look, how many of you will tell that it is true? Because we never analyze those things, no? So we have to analyze the influences, what's happening, newspaper, media, books, all TV channels, all these things, they create a lot of influences on us. So what are the next thing I'll tell you? So analyzing influences focuses on identifying and understanding the diverse internal and external factors that affect health practices and behavior of a person. So we have to analyze our influences. What is the things are happening around us? So what makes people to do the things they do? So how does this affect their choices about health and risk? Analyzing influences is foundational of teaching other health skills, because It prepares you all to first understand the variety of influences on your behavior, which is an essential precursors to mastering health skills. Our behavior is the main thing which sends, because in epigenetic, what is now has been told, we the whatever like our genes are being controlled by the information being sent to it through our five senses. We perceive the environment, our environment through the five senses only. And whatever information goes into our body, that creates our behavior, that changes our behavior. And that whatever behavior we take, and that same signal goes to the cell, to the DNA. And accordingly, if that's sustained for a longer period of time, that changes our coding system, that changes the DNA writing. So we are unknowingly making a good gene a bad gene, and knowingly we can make a bad gene a good gene. So it's all about science. It is possible, it's happening all over the world, and it is happening to us because we do not know it. That now you know that when we talk about epigenetic lifestyle modification, when I talk about the how our gene is influencing, then we do the things. Okay. Now there's a timeline. I always say, so you should identify the things, people, family members, like who are influencing you, should identify. Then you should evaluate how the influences might affect your health and behavior and decisions. Then you should choose. You choose the positive influences on your health goals, and you protect yourself from the negative influences which is happening around you. Fine. So I always tell, next is your accessing your resources, understanding how to find accurate answers from reliable sources. That is this is your job, and you have to do it. Fine. And access valid and reliable resources, prepare people to that prepares people to be able to critically evaluate the health information around them. So it is now I told you now, you have to do your own research whenever you're talking about health. As I did in my 2010, you have to work on your health. Fine. You have to find out, you have to go to people, you have to research, you have to look for article. So you have to find out what is good for me, and you have to work on that. So mastery of this skill empower people to either accept or reject the information they have found in order to achieve better health. Then interpersonal communication. That means we are always communicating. We cannot not communicate. We are always communicating. So it affects our health. Like in many, like if we are not able to communicate properly, we're expressing emotions, effectively resisting our pressures, respecting others' limits. If you don't do it, ultimately we are in a negative state of mind, because if we keep the emotions within us, if we're not communicating properly, what we are doing, we are creating a environment of stress inside us. So a interpersonal communication is required to have a good health. That's what I always feel. And decision making is focus on practicing your health skill. Like I always say, it focuses. Decision making means people are not decision making. They always look for a health problem. So I want to do something. They go looking for the thing. They don't take decisions. Somebody will tell, do this, somebody will do that. So they are confused. So in that particular thing, what they should do, they should be having a good decision making power. I have to go to a hospital. So it is my decision to go to a hospital, to meet a doctor, or to go to a person who I have to learn. So the decision making people make a lot of mistakes in, especially around for health, because for health, they look for others' decision. And I always say, if you are not taking a decision, you will be carried away with the other's decision. And one day you will be, and most of the people, they fall into the trap because they don't take good decisions. Fine. So it is very important. I'll just going fast. So, and second thing, goal setting. I always say, make a whole health goal. People make their career goals, but you don't make your health goals. See how I should be at the age of 40. What should be my health goal? I should be at the 45. What should be my thing at the 50, 60, 70? And that is what, when we don't make health goals, because this is a thing which is missing in people's life. We do not have health goals. Nobody going towards health goals. How I should be there. So I always say that you should make your health goals. People gain confidence in their ability to set and achieve goals by following clear steps over a short period of time. And people learn to identify areas of improvement before creating goals that support their health. This is very important. So you have to identify a goal and you have to achieve those things. Suppose you have learned many things also, but if you don't have a goal, you cannot achieve it. And I always say practicing health enhancing behavior means creating habits. You have to create your habits. Like you have to do exercise for 30 minutes. You have to do that. Fine. You have to use seat belt. Because why I was telling seat belt, every year around 180,000 people die of road accident. And because now they don't use seat belts. Fine. The people don't sleep properly, because sleeping is very important. People don't give much important diet. Now diet is changing everything. Now we have like that's called in epigenetic lifestyle modification, because diet is a signal. Whatever we take food, that is a signal. How can we change the signal and we can give good impression to our genes? Fine. Adequate exercise, low sedentary behavior, regular toothbrushing, all these things are necessary for your good health. And I say last one is that advocacy, I call it, for self and others. You should advocate for yourself, so that you that I call self love. The moment you start loving yourself, you will be doing everything which I told before. And you should advocate for yourself. No, I should do this because I love myself. I am going to do this thing. And that is what missing. When I ask people, like, do you love yourself? They say, yes, sir, I love myself. Now, how much time you have given for yourself today? And every time there's no. If something we do for our wife, children, friends, everybody, and if there is any time we try to give it to ourselves, no, it's me first. We should give the first priority to ourselves. And then, because if I'm all right, I can serve more and more people. I can do better things to many of the people. If I don't, and I cannot, because if I don't have 5 rupees, I cannot give it to you. So same time, if I don't love myself, I cannot love others. It's a very simple thing. So, and advocacy for others also, you have to see that's called I call empathy. You can empathize on others, and you should start doing for some other people. Like when you do something for others, that time you feel good, and your body get the message that you are doing something and you are in harmony with the nature. So doing something good for others, and I send a good signal to our body. And the third one is called knowledge. That means now we have to work on our knowledge. The third part is very important. This now, once we do change our attitude, we learn the skill. Now comes the power. This is knowledge. Knowledge is power, no doubt about it. But it is not at all it's a potential power. When we apply the knowledge on ourselves, we become powerful. And we become powerful to keep ourselves healthy for a longer period of time and forever, I can say. So what are the knowledge you should have? I always say there are 4 pillars of living healthy. One is that we should know about our own biology, which I teach in my classes. This takes me 6 classes, 6 hours to teach people how they should know that how their biology is working, how their cells are responding to the external environment, how they are so sensitive. Once you understand the mechanism, and you will do everything to do good for you. And here comes the role of epigenetics. Fine. Here comes the role of epigenetics. Here we know that our cells are more intelligent than us. They carry the intelligence of 250 millions of years of evolution. They are very intelligent, and you should know the power of them. They don't, like our heart cells, our kidney cells, our liver cells, we don't have control over them, but they manage the things. How? Because God has not given us the power to manage them, but they manage themselves because they are very intelligent. And I always tell, every cell is intelligent and they are having their own brain. So we are no more a single brain which we think of. We are having we are a body of minds. We are not mind body. We have 70 to 80 trillions of mind working inside ours. It's a very interesting subject. So everybody should learn about their biology. This is called new biology, I tell. And it tells us that we have the power inside our cells to keep us healthy forever. It is science is talking about. So you should understand about these human cells. And second thing is the physiology part we have to learn. This knowledge about our physiology is very important, especially when you talk about the people do exercises, but they do not know the basic physiology behind it. People do yoga, people eat food properly, but do not know what is the basic mechanism going on inside your body. They do not know about their gastrointestinal system. They do not know that their gut is full of microbes, and these microbes are their friends, and they are controlling their body, mind, everything. People do not know about how to breathe properly. We are very poor breathers. We have to learn all these things. We do not know how to keep our heart healthy. There will be no chance that anybody will go into heart attack or any heart problem if he knows that how to keep these things. You have to know about your muscle. Muscle is your biggest furnace of our body. If you do not keep it, because furnace means if you do not have, your furnace is not working in your home, you cannot eat, you cannot have a good meal. Similarly, if our furnace is not working, is not good, and we are losing our lean body mass, we are aging. As we are aging, our lean body mass is going down, and we have to learn how to keep them, and we have to learn the exercise physiology. We have to know about how our nerve cells work. See, these are all things we have to, there is what you need a teacher for this. And we are coming up with the way that you should, under a common man, should understand everything. Once you know that you have the power, because knowledge will give you the power when you start applying on that. So I talk, this is the second pillar of this thing is physiology. And the third pillar, I always say energy metabolism. How our body is full of energy products producing factories. Every cell has got factories called mitochondria, which produces ATP called our batteries. We have got rechargeable batteries called ATPs. There are millions of rechargeable batteries called ATP inside our body, and our factory produces that. And when everywhere, wherever there is a need, there are extra factories are being set up every moment. But we should know the mechanism, how this is being produced, what makes our energy, like the air we take and the food we eat. When they go to the cells and goes to the factory, they produce the energy. So it's up to us to produce our energy. People come to me, they tell me that I feel weak, because most of the people that I feel weak because they don't have any problem. Only thing is that they have this energy. They do not know much about this energy metabolism, how to create energy within yourself. That is to be learned. And that what I always believe, that when I teach, then people feel, okay, I know this is so simple thing. And we do not know about this thing. This is what is happening. Fine. And this is the third pillar. And the fourth pillar is our mind. We have to tame our mind. We have to train our mind. Fine. And for that, you have to learn about the meditation. You have to learn about the affirmations. You have to learn about the prayers. See, there are energy. How we can control all these things. What is subconscious? Like people, I'll tell you, we are being controlled by the conscious mind only 5% things. Our decision, 95% decisions are being taken by our subconscious mind. So we can only train our subconscious through our conscious mind. And that takes effort. Fine. So you have to understand the mechanism, how we can control our mind. So if we can do this thing, and these are the four, this like to ask means attitude, skill, and now the knowledge. And if you have these three things, if you ask for these three things, then you have you will get the key to the healthier world. This is what I wanted to convey today. And you see, I'll give you the last 5 tips only. This is called, first tip is that if it is important to you, you'll find a way. If it is not, you'll find an excuse for that. Fine. Second tip, learning has no size. It is a mindset. So learning never ends. If we have a growth mindset, we can go on learning and applying it on our body, and we can remain healthy forever. And if you don't sacrifice what you want, then what you want will become your sacrifice. That is a must. Fine. You cannot spell challenge without change. If you want to change yourself, you have to challenge yourself. We cannot, because this change is inside this challenge. Always remember, you cannot change without this challenge. Remember this thing. And the fifth one is, when you feel like quitting, think about why you have started. Many times we start, but we quit. But you should think, why I have started? I want a good health. Then I should continue it. Fine. Take care of your mindset. It is the only thing you have. This is where we have to work more on our attitude. Discipline is doing what you know need to be done, even when you don't want to do it. Remember it. And no matter how slow you go, you are still leaping everyone in the couch. You may start slow, no doubt. You are doing, at least you are doing something who people are sleeping. There are people, thousands of people who are not doing anything. Fine. Motivation is what gets you started. Habits is what keeps you going. I can tell you, you can be motivated, you can start, but you have to create your habits. You have to do the things for 21 to 63 days to make it a habit, so that if you don't do it, you will not feel good. Fine. I can't change yesterday, but I can change today, and I can change tomorrow is something. And I always say in life, lots of people know what to do, but few people do what they know. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Biswajit, for such a nice and knowledgeable session for all the GACS members. And I request,
ask me any questions.
Yeah, I request Captain Rajesh sir, to ask some questions or enlighten the participants.
So thank you so much, Ajay. First of all, thank you so much, Dr. Mahapatra. I think it was so interesting. In fact, you were saying that you have limited time, and we were thinking that the way you were conveying
Yeah.
time is enough for us. So we were continuing. There are people writing on the chat box that let's continue. But maybe in a flow you didn't realize. But I think very, very important, very powerful. And what you said makes a lot of sense. I just have 2, 3 things, and I'm sure. So maybe we did injustice by giving you 45 minutes. Maybe next time we have definitely an hour
See,
or more than that, because
my
that's
program
what
goes
is
for 3
needed.
hours. I
No,
talk about 3 to 4 hours because it's
no,
very big.
yeah, we can imagine. And to be very frank, the whole idea of this series is every day we get an expert, and the whole idea is how we can really motivate our people. So I think the obvious first question is, when you're talking about this 21 days, whatever training program you run, how do people register? Like, is there any way,
Uh,
or there any link or something, if you can share with the group, this will be circulated so that people know, because a lot of people are asking these questions.
Okay, I have that 21 days of DNA of living healthy. I have a website, www.careforyourhealth.in.
Okay.
You can go and register that 21 day DNA of living healthy. You can register that program there. It is already there. I'm doing it regularly, and it will be from the month of August. It will be recorded one. I'm going to the international stage into it. Tony Robbins and Danny Graduacy. I'm coming with their platform there also. I'm using their platform also. I'll be using from August, maybe. So it is a very because you have to learn, because what I told people, you are till now people are being kept ignorant about the basic things which they should learn. Once you learn, you have the power. You will
Very true,
manipulate
very
yourself.
true. I
You have
think, and
manipulate.
that's the intent. So maybe I'll request Ajay, if you can note it down and circulate in the group, that will be helpful.
I'll take care, sir.
Because
Yeah, I will do.
a lot of people, they have this question. So, okay. Doctor, second thing which was very powerful, you said decision making us as laymen. So you're right. If I have a problem, which hospital to go, I'll ask 10 people, okay, did you go to this hospital? If you had this problem, what was the response? I think that's the normal trend. People all follow that. So what do you suggest? What I heard you saying is maybe that's not the right thing. We need to take decisions on our own. But on our own these days, I think that's the only way. Like, you ask people you are comfortable with, okay, you also had this problem, which doctor you went to, which hospital you went to, and if they were fine, we assume that we'll also be fine and we'll follow that. So what do you suggest? How do we go about it?
What I talked to you misinterpret the things. I'm
Okay.
talking about health. So,
Yeah.
when you are nowadays, what is happening, once people have got something they want to learn, your panwala is also a good advisor to you. Your next neighbor is a good advisor to you. You do this thing, you do that. And people don't do their own research. See,
Got it.
basically, you have to do your own research, because if many patient comes to me by asking for some other people, no, but I always see then there is a doubt in their mind. If they have come through somebody else, then they have got doubt with that. But when they talk to me directly, to a doctor, you can find out. You can talk to directly doctors, because once you have a connection, then only you have a connection. But if you come through a lot of people asking lots of things, you are confused. Then you will ask me, then you will go to the doctor, and I'll tell you about disease also. They come to me, then, sir, can I be all right? My wound will not get infected. No. See, the moment you are asking, I have seen the moment you ask for a complication, or you are thinking of those people get the infection and the complications. Your body doesn't allow that thing. That is a surprising thing in my 30 years of practice. Every patient who asks me that I will not get an infection, they get the infection. And the people who don't ask anything, they have faith on the doctors. They go home left and right. And that's what, when you ask 10 people, you are confused. Don't ask 10 people. You just think of, I have to go to the doctor. Now everything is there in every doctor. Everybody who is a good doctor, who is not a good doctor. Because it is not that we are hiding anything now. Everybody has got the results in front of you. So you can do your own research. I always say.
No, absolutely. Now, I just wanted to clarify that, because maybe I misunderstood that. And I thought generally, then that's the habit. What we all do is we ask people, or these days, so I always say Google uncle is the best one. So we all need to just type on Google and get reviews and all. So I think now you have clarified. Thank you so much. And I think another very powerful thing which you said, which is useful to a lot of people in this group, because they are still in their 30s and 40s, and you say, unfortunately, we abuse our body probably in this particular time frame or a span, and that's why after 40 a lot of people face these challenges. Coincidentally, I am in 50, so unfortunately, I have done those damages to myself. So I'll definitely reach out to you to understand now what needs to be done. But I think your message is very clear, especially for those 30, between 30 to 40, that they need to be very, very careful, because you're right. That is the time with so much of josh, energy, and all, we do abuse our body. I think absolutely with you. I think these are the few basic questions. There are many more in other ways and forms coming in, but broadly, this is what people are wanting to know. So I can just once again thank you very much, because very, very powerful, very, very interesting, very knowledgeable session. And I think definitely it's helping me when I'm 50 plus. I'm sure people who are younger, and most of them are younger.
I'll tell you one thing. It is not the 50 or 60 or 70. I'm 55, you can say.
No, I'm just saying so.
No, I tell you, we have always start from wherever we are today. That's what I will last. Wherever we are today, we can start from there, and we start. Let us think about what problem. Suppose I have a blood pressure, I have a diabetes, so it is there with me. So I should work on health. Once I start for my health, I'll do everything good for my body, and our body will respond to that, and it happens. Then if you are doing the right thing, right way, you do all the routine things, you start making, your life will change. You will find your doses will decrease. You will find your muscle, once you improve your muscles, because that I take around 2 classes for exercise physiology, because that is one of the things which is being misunderstood by people. They don't know the physiology, and that doesn't affect them. People go for walking. It's so simple thing, and they don't know that walking is got a principle also. So all these things you have to learn and do that. See, once you do that with knowingly that this is going to help me, and I'm doing the right way, and you will get the right benefit, and naturally your body will try to reverse back to the normalcy, or you will preserve there. You will be there, whatever condition you are there, it will never progress anymore. So both of we are happy, no?
So, Doctor, don't take me wrong. Purely from an experience standpoint, a lot of times what I've seen is, let's say if I have something happening in my body, a lot of times we are scared also. If I'll go to doctor, they'll tell me for 10 tests unnecessarily, probably just to make sure that there is a bill going on, they will get it to. And I don't convey it to anyone. After 4 or 5 days, I feel better and I start enjoying my life. So unfortunately, that mindset is also there at times. And I'm not talking about critical disease or something major, but I'm saying in a routine, a lot of times we feel, I don't know how far that's true, that's psychological, maybe to an extent people have their experiences. So people avoid also. So what do you advise? You say that moment you feel something is happening in your body.
Two things you are confusing about. I'm very confusing about. See, hospital visit and modern medicine has its own place in the role to play. It is life saving, no doubt about this. But I'm talking about your health. See, I'm in my hospital. I'm a doctor. I'm a healthcare professional. I'm a disease care professional. I tell you myself as a disease care professional, because we take out, and to diagnose a disease, we have to do tests and all these things. There are no routines. There are some routines, and maybe it is not required. Your body will take you to a normal state, homeostatic. Our body has got the capability. That's what I talk about the biology. When I talk about the biology, I tell you our body has got a homeostatic mechanism playing inside our body. We have our own protectors inside our body who protects us. They will take back to the normalcy. But we are in a hurry, you know. I have a fever, so I'll run to a doctor, and once you go to a doctor, the fever has got 100 reasons. So he has to investigate you. But if you know there's a simple fever, and you can wait for 2 more tests, and people are demanding also. Try to understand the other part of it. They tell we have to give some medicine, do the test, I will do the things. So this is a two-way thing. So that our health, disease consciousness is making us, dragging us to that. We are so disease conscious. I want an ultrasound. I want a CT scan. I get my MRI done. Get my this thing. See, this is very common. Out of 100%, 90 people are asking like this. See, because I am a person. I'm very, because I'm into this. I avoid all these things. But people come and demand, sir, ultrasound nahi likhe. So something like that. I know it's just a gastritis.
No, you're right. You're right. A lot of times we behave that way.
So we cannot change that. We can change ourselves. We can change ourselves. We cannot change systems. But I told you now, we have power to work on ourselves. That is always under our control. What can I do to my body? Fine.
Very true.
My whole tension is that you should love yourself. You will work for yourself, and you will keep yourself healthy forever. You don't have to visit a hospital if you are healthy.
Very true, sir. Very true.
That is what.
Great, sir. Great, sir. Thank you so much once again. Over to you, Ajay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for asking knowledgeable questions, and we also got some information from your out of curiosity. and Dr. Biswajit has answered and explained what all the confusion that we have and why we are so in hurry to get our tested when our body can make it, because it's a structure that is given by the God, and everything has been he has already planned everything. But because of our ignorance and less knowledge, we have make our body more confused and complicated. So thank you, Dr. Biswajit. And on this, with all this regards to all our members, and I thanks once again. And with this, I'll just.
Voice is gone.
You're on mute. We can't hear you.
So thank you for Dr. Biswajit for all the things that we had made us knowledgeable, and Captain Sir had given us such curiosity questions that we all have confusions on this. So with this, before wrapping up, I'll just once again tell everybody that we'll again come up with a new exciting sessions on a daily basis, and with these of experts talks also on a monthly or weekly basis that will come up. And with two lines, I'm going to wrap up this session. वक्त सबको मिलता है जिंदगी बदलने के लिए, वक्त सबको मिलता है जिंदगी बदलने के लिए, लेकिन जिंदगी दोबारा नहीं मिलती वक्त बदलने के लिए. So just think deeper on these two lines and keep healthy. Do start your day with healthy things, and this is the day where you can start your healthy life. Thank you.
I must say thanks, Dr. Poet Ajay. So I have started now using Poet also. Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Thank you all participants. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Biswajit.
Thank you.